What's happening, people? I'm here with the main man.
It's the champ.
Make sure you tune into Pep Talk UK, where it talks boxing and
big up.
Thank you, AJ.
Pep Talk UK. It's time!
Everyone talk good game, but it don't really faze me. The man that ain't mad like Max, the boy that not murky like Ace B. And them gal whoppers lying on the back balling like a baby.
Oi, oi! Welcome to the Pep Talk UK Sports Podcast, the podcast that talks the major boxing and football news from around the globe, real points of view from a real panel. Hashtag Real Talk on Pep Talk. Please subscribe to Pep Talk UK on iTunes and YouTube. Don't forget to like, share and comment. Now, I'm your host, Frankie B, and I'm joined by a sick panel. Firstly, I'd like to welcome from the capital city of France, Paris, Pascal. How are ya?
Bonjour Frankie B, bonjour mes amis. Pascal est de retour. I am in the building like Jadakiss' new album. How are you?
Yes, mate. I'm doing well, mate. I'm feeling excited, mate. McGregor, Mayweather, it's about to kick off. It's about to go down. And to the haters, we got to say, hard work.
Dedication.
Hard work.
Dedication.
Hard work.
That's easy work.
That's
easy.
it.
Hard work is work. Easy work, of course. So let's point to the easy work then. You know, that was very good. I'm excited. Because the drama these two gentlemen bring to the fore is exciting. Conor McGregor, I've grown to actually like him. He's very entertaining, and he brings the traditional, banter from Ireland. He's a confident Irishman, and he's certainly doing a very good job at hyping the fight. So he's certainly a good candidate.
And he certainly picks a nice suit up, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, well his suit was very interesting. I wasn't so sure about the pink tie. I thought that he could have used a different color. But overall, he presented himself very well, and he certainly, entertained, and from that point of view, I can say that he's certainly done better than some of Floyd's opponents in selling the fight.
It's going to be pandemonium, mate.
I'm sure.
Pascal, we're going to keep it moving. You want to shout out your social media?
Yes, of course. My social media is Pascal_Desad at Instagram and Twitter. Follow me for some French lessons or just talk about boxing and football.
Yes, Pascal. Right, now I'd like to welcome a man that is an international barber from London's well-known Champs Barbers. It's ENQUIRIES. How you doing, bro?
How you doing, guys? Thank you for having me. It's an honour to be on here. Honour to be talking about what I love most. As you guys know, that I'm Champs Barbers, boxing themed barbershop. All we do is talk boxing and football and all the good stuff and that. So,
do you know what? Sorry to interrupt. You got that Giggz kind of voice about you, man.
It's a South London thing.
So, how long have you been running Champs for? What type of international famous clients have you had come to the shop?
Well, starting off just last week, I was doing Travis Scott's people at Brixton Academy, and then I ran to the Hyde Park to take care of Justin Bieber's people and all the dancers and all the security is on stage with all those guys, and then went and dropped off my daughter, and then took care of when it was on stage with all of Travis Scott's people again, on the stage. It's crazy where my clippers have taken me. I've taken care of a lot of fighters. I take care of Paulie Malignaggi anytime he's in town. Okay. I take care of a lot of the US fighters, actually, funnily enough. when they fly over, because I've got a lot of US barber friends that send them over to me. And obviously, because of the shop being boxing themed, everyone always comes through. And it's central London, right behind Nike Town. So it's easy to find. People find us off of Instagram at Champs Barbers. And yeah, man, like people just Google us up, like the ratings. Omar Benson Miller was in the house just the other day.
Nice.
Antonio Barrera actually opened the shop for me.
Oh, wow.
You know, we had Cannon Briggs come through because he knew us from Instagram. He heard about us. I've translated for Roberto Duran. Yeah, the list goes on, man, and a lot of footballers also. So I'm very blessed, day in, day out. I don't know when my phone goes off, who's it going to be next. So, you know, even this week when Erica Badu was in town, I was out there with them also and taking care of Common and all those guys there. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm really blessed, man.
Oh, nice, bro. We're going to have to pass through one day, you know.
Yeah, definitely, man.
How are you with pads, though? Do you do pads in the shop by the chair as well?
Yeah. Well, I'm so busy. Thank God I've got like coaches that come and say like, you know what, Champ, I'll take care of you outside of the shop. So they come and they actually do my pad work outside my shop, which also causes a nice little kerfuffle outside the shop. People get their phones out and Instagram it and go live on their phones, and so it's all like a big old circus, man. You know, like the media workouts. It might not be as big and glamour and glitzy, but it works. So, you know.
Nice. Right, we're going to move on. I'd like to finally welcome a man that has over 20 years in the boxing game and is the trainer of one Anthony Yard. It's Mr. Stamina for Cell. Tunde Ajayi, how you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. You make me sound old, man. I'm 21 years old, by the way. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, bro. I'm all good, man.
I feel I got. Listen, I don't even get nervous for fighting, but I was kind of nervous coming on your show with such an esteemed channel.
Thank you. But do you know what? I'm kind of feeling this whole Stamina for Cell movement, man. That's why I had to slip in your DMs, mate.
It's a movement, man. You know, and that's what, you know. That was the intention 20 years ago this year. You know, really built it from the mud up. You know, and you know, it's been a long road, and I feel you know, we're here now. We're still a long way to go, but at least, you know, people are starting to take note.
Yes, indeed. So the team is looking right at the moment, and Anthony Yard just picked up the WBO light heavyweight European strap last weekend. Still celebrating?
Well, I don't celebrate.
Just keep it moving, yeah?
I think the whole team does celebrate, but I don't do the celebration thing because, you know, it's like I said, and like I have been saying to you know, the people that interview me from TV and stuff, you know, I have the mindset of the same like Anthony, and that is, we want everything. I want all the belts in 3 or 4 weight classes, and this is just the beginning. So I ain't got no time to be celebrating. I'm working.
That sounds like some Mr. Miyagi talk, man.
Yeah, I've been put in a position as a teacher, as the head, as the magista, as I like to call myself, and I've got to set the example. You know, this isn't boxers have their own examples to set, but teachers have an even greater responsibility because the students have to look up to the teacher. That's how it goes.
I hear you. So as a trainer, how difficult was it to get Anthony Yard to focus on getting the win after all the pre-fight problems and the crowd trouble on the night itself?
Well, to be honest with you, me and Andy really it's crazy because I think this is the first fight where, you know, emails were sent out that family and friends and supporters wasn't allowed in the changing rooms. So it was really and to be honest with you, that's how I like it anyway. You know, I always say to Anthony, I just like when it's just me and you, because I don't really like the excitement thing. You know, so in the changing rooms, you just had our team, which was myself, Ade, Martin, Malcolm, and Anthony. So right from when we got to the venue, you know, I got there before anyone. I mean, I think Anthony got there around 7:30, but I was there from the door open. I was there at 4:00. You know, so I was on my own in the changing rooms, and when the commotion was going on, the kind of mood didn't really change because, yes, there was trouble going on outside, but we didn't even know what was going on. It wasn't until Mick Collier, you know, who's from the British Boxing Border Control, said, well, don't let it bother you. And I was like, what are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. Little did I know, World War III was going on outside. I didn't know World War III was going on outside. You know, so I remember Anthony saying, he didn't even say nothing. He just. I guess the first thing that came to his head was his mum. You know, and he was walking out there, and I remember I said to him, relax. Nothing ain't stopping this anyway. You know, so after he'd gone out, he would come back in, and us, as God is my witness, we were just focused, because that's our whole thing anyway. My whole system and Stamina for Sale and Anthony is just based on total concentration. So, you know, we had a few dilemmas to deal with before that anyway, which was the abscess Anthony had to deal with in his mouth. Yeah, right before the fight, yeah. Listen, I'm telling you, Anthony's, you know, I was speaking to Anthony's mum, he's like, that pain is worse than giving birth, and I can actually feel it, the pain what Anthony was going through. Even from the press conference, because as Anthony said, you know, anyone that knows him realised that he didn't see himself at the press conference. And I remember, a bit low key. Yeah, I remember, and even at the weigh-in, you know, Leo McKenzie, my friend, good friend of mine, you know, professional boxer, ex-footballer. Yeah, big up Leo McKenzie. Yeah, big up Leo, man, it's my boy. He's like, is Anthony alright? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, he just don't see himself, man. He looked a bit nervous. I'm like, you're an idiot. Sorry for the language. I'm like, listen, we don't do nerves. Anthony's cool. Tomorrow is going down. Someone's getting knocked out. So, you know, we deal with a mentality, and our camp, we're all strong in the mind. So we dealt with it well. You know, we was focused, and if you watch Anthony on the ring walk, you know, it was total relaxation. Yeah, that robe was looking kind of sick though. Oh man, I love that. Listen, everything about Anthony Yard, that was superstar. Everything. And I'm a person, Andy might not like me saying that, you know, because Anthony's very reserved when it comes to talking about himself and the future. He's very humble. Yeah. Very cool. And I think that's a great way to be for someone who's in the public eye. You know, because you don't want unnecessary enemies, you know, and people thinking you're over cocky, and you know, when really you're just being confident. But the way Anthony does it is in such a way that he's likable to everyone, you know. But me, I got a big mouth. So that got, people know me. Some people know me. It goes down well because they know I'm a jokey character, and others, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard someone say it publicly, but they may take it the wrong way. But in truth, I'm just sometimes I can be outspoken, not so much nowadays. Before I used to be more outspoken, but now I'm more reserved and calculated. But you know, I like to talk. What are you looking at going forward? Well, I mean, there's been a few suggestions, and you know, certain individuals calling us out, and but,
who's been calling him out?
Adonis Stevenson, you know, Adonis Stevenson wants so
fast track. You guys in the Pep Talk, man, you know what's going on.
That's easy work for Anthony.
You get it. So certain individuals are calling us out, which is, it makes me laugh really, because I think they're calling us out, but you know, like, I was talking to someone the other day, you know, like when you look in your wallet and you got a cash point card, and in your brain you know there's no money in the cash point, but you still roll up to the cash point, type in your PIN number, and then you see and then you see the 0 cents balance, but you knew you weren't getting no money out. So that's how I kill these fighters cool it. You know you ain't winning. You know you're not winning. But it looks good, innit? So carry on talking. And, you know, as I say, they say sometimes, you know, you can write yourself a check you can't cash. So we don't really deal with the talking business. That's not really what we do as a team. We just look at each opponent that's offered to us, and we sit down collectively, myself, Anthony and Frank Warren, and we make a decision which is good for us.
So Tunde, do you want to shout out your social media before we move on?
Yeah, you know, you can get, as I said, you can get us on all social medias, all social platforms. Twitter, Stamina for Sale. Instagram, Stamina for Sale. I've also got a personal Instagram account, TundeAjayi999, because you come check me when there's an emergency.
And when I need that jollof, man, I'll holler, man.
And on my Facebook, you have the real Tunde Ajayi, because you know we've got a lot of carbon copies out there. If you type in Tunde Ajayi on Facebook, you see about 1,000 Nigerians come up. So I have to accentuate the real, capital DREAL, and then Tunde Ajayi. And you know I have to shout out the other half, my force, Mr. Anthony Yard on Facebook, Mr. Anthony Yard on Instagram, Mr. Anthony Yard on Twitter. So what's that? We've got the Facebook, the Instagram, and the Twitter. Yeah. And I think his Snapchat is... No, I don't know. I don't want to mess with that. That's a young boy thing. But I know he's got a Snapchat as well. But, you know, Instagram and Twitter, Mr. Anthony Yard. Facebook, Anthony Yard.
Stamina for Sale, baby.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gents, for the fight fans locked in, for the football fans locked in, now it's time for some real talk on Pep Talk. Let's go! Right, now it's time for some real talk on Pep Talk. Let's go! Yup! So we're going to start with the boxing, and there were a lot of exciting fights last weekend, but we're going to kick off. We're at the Braehead Arena in Scotland. Josh Taylor became the new WBC Silver International Light Welterweight Champion, winning by TKO in the 7th round. Now Pascal,
were
you expecting this emphatic stoppage by Josh Taylor?
Certainly not. I was very, very surprised. For me, it came as similar to the news that England were coming out of Europe with Brexit. I was very shocked. I expected, in truth, I expected O'Hara Davies to win by knockout, because I know that the young man has a lot of power, and his last outing certainly was quite interesting in the sense that he was able to stop his opponent. Derry Matthews, of course. I was at the fight actually. I was at the O2 when that fight took place, and he seemed to be very clinical in his dispatching of Mr. Matthews. So I expected O'Hara Davies to be just as aggressive and just as definitive in his approach, and I was quite disappointed by the fact that I saw in O'Hara Davies some vulnerabilities. His footwork wasn't he didn't appear to be quite comfortable against the southpaw. Josh Taylor to me seemed to be the more relaxed boxer out of the two. I felt that O'Hara had a bit of nervous energy, and he wanted to knock out his opponent a bit too quickly and didn't really go back to the boxing. And as a result of that, Josh Taylor took advantage of that. He certainly was the better counter-puncher. His boxing certainly carried him quite well, and he was able to get a good knockdown in the 3rd round, to which OD acknowledged that it was a good shot. He didn't seem hurt then, but he acknowledged that he was in there with certainly a good boxer. But the knockout for me on the 7th round was quite surprising, because I didn't feel that OD was certainly hurt. To me it seemed that he could have gone the whole 12 rounds, but it appeared that mentally he didn't want to carry on anymore, and he wanted to just to finish it there and there. Could it be a quit? Some will argue yes, others would probably say that Josh Taylor was certainly the better fighter, and it was an inevitable outcome to the fight. But it certainly was not the performance that I expected from OD. But we've got to give credit to Josh Taylor, who fought a very good fight, in front of his Scottish counterparts, and he certainly has arrived for me, in that division, and he's proving to be an exciting prospect, and there could be an opportunity for him to fight a fellow Scottish legend in Ricky Burns, so it'll be a good domestic fight for boxing in Scotland.
That would be like Celtic against Rangers, mate.
Yes, of course, the old firm games, yes.
Yeah.
It would be very good, and the atmosphere would be also very electric, because the people in Scotland are very passionate people. So I expect the fight to be a very good fight. It will sell a lot of tickets, and it's certainly a fight that Ricky Burns probably needs as following his defeat to Indongo. He needs to get back to winning ways, and for Josh Taylor is an opportunity for him as well to build up on some experience and to potentially take the mantle from Ricky Burns. As for O'Hara Davies, it's not the end of the world for him. He's still a very young man. He can go back to the drawing board. He looked very uncomfortable, and those power shots, he seemed to be loading up too much too often. And that to me is a sign of emotion rather than concentration and focus. So people have come back from worse than that. So
James Miguel, one of them.
Of course, yeah, and many more. Many legends have lost fights before, so it doesn't define you as a fighter. It's how does O'Hara Davies bounce from that defeat? But so let's wait and see.
Now, Tunde, from a trainer's point of view, what did you feel Josh Taylor did, which was effective in getting the W?
Well, I haven't really watched the fight. I've only seen the highlights. But as you know, for those of you that don't know, O'Hara turned professional with me, and I managed O'Hara right at the beginning of his career. And I remember, O'Hara, funny enough, O'Hara was in the gym 2 weeks before the contest, and everyone knows I don't study other fighters that I don't deal with, but it's different with O'Hara because I trained him and I managed him before he decided to leave. But I did, and I've kept it civil. I've always got a good word to say about O'Hara. I never have nothing bad to say about O'Hara. That's just not my character. And I asked him, I said, who's this boy that you're, and O'Hara said, some guy that just built up, he's, but I'll beat him. So I was like, okay, do your thing. Because the one thing I used to make vocal, and I always said it, and even the eve before the fight, someone asked me about the fight, and I said what I've been saying from the beginning. I said nobody can't beat O'Hara in this country. And that's a silly, but that's what I felt when he was with me. You understand? And because what I've seen, and I've taken O'Hara
to the Mayweather gym,
to the Mayweather gym,
and he schooled that guy in the gym. He schooled him.
Say that again?
He schooled that guy in the gym, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but that's just what was,
that was light,
O'Hara, a lot of people don't know. I had O'Hara sparring with Sean Porter, I'm a person. Everyone knows I don't talk about sparring to any degree, because sparring is different under the light.
Sorry, Tunde, how did he do against Porter?
Well, let me tell you this: nobody don't lose when I'm in the corner.
That's why he should have left, huh?
Okay. Well, that's everybody makes decisions in life, and you have to respect them. There's no bitter pill. I respect O'Hara. I love him. I support O'Hara, everything he does, and that's my boy. At the end of the day, there's nothing. Life is a journey, and you just because someone don't go down your road, you can't start feeling all bitter. You understand? You just gotta let them do what they're doing.
Of course, and he's still young as well. You know what I mean?
Young boy, and I love O'Hara. Everyone knows. People say, "Right, you're crazy," but to me, I deal with love and positivity. So just because someone's had a setback in their career doesn't mean they can't bounce back. You understand?
And there's this bad thing in boxing. As soon as you take an L, everybody runs.
Yeah. But my eyebrows did raise when I said to where's the fight? And said it's in Scotland, and I was like, whoa. Because trust me, I remember 2003, I was in Scotland. I think who was I with? I think was it I think 2003. I remember. I was in Scotland. I think I went up there with Kevin Mitchell. I think Kevin Mitchell. Yeah, I went up there with Kevin Mitchell, and I remember there was a fighter, Wayne Elcock. I don't know if you remember him. Mm-hmm. He had just beaten Andy Farnell for the WBU title, and so his first defense was in the Braehead Arena. So when Mike told me it was in the Braehead Arena, I said, "Oh my goodness!" You see them Scottish, see the Scottish fans. They with an energy which is serious. It literally, when they sing the anthem, you know, it makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck.
And it eggs the fire on more as well.
Oh man! So you know, knowing that and knowing that O'Hara was going into the Lions, then you know, the first thought that comes into my mind is that it was going to be a challenge, because you know, from what I hear, Josh Taylor was a good fighter. You know, very technical fighter, skilled fighter, and and a skilled fighter. Mm-hmm. But I still maintain, you know, what I said from the beginning, that no one can't beat O'Hara at that weight, because he just punches too hard. But one thing, the difference between me and most coaches, I don't get, you know, people always talk about Anthony's punch power, but I don't focus on that. I focus on the art of boxing and making a fighter technically better.
And skills. I love skills too. Yeah.
You know, skills pay the council tax. That's in the borough. You understand? But it's like, that was always been my main focus for Anthony, for O'Hara, for whoever I've trained. Everybody knows that. So it's skill. So I don't know what's happened, but from what I saw from a technical standpoint, you know, O wasn't himself. I don't know, maybe he was injured, or I don't know, but you know, he made a schoolboy error, which is throw a left hook to the body and not have no defense against a southpaw who's going to naturally throw a right hook, and his right hand was down as well. So I don't know what was happening. Sometimes you can, you know, with fighters, sometimes I think that you can have so much power that trainers themselves, you know, get all excited. The trainers themselves get all excited, and they forget about the technicality.
Fundamentals, yeah.
To be, not even the fundamentals, the technicality. The fundamentals is just a jab. If you ain't teaching your fighter how to jab, you're not a trainer. You know, but the technicality needed at a certain level. And just from 30-second clips, I see this wasn't in place. So it's like, for Josh Taylor, he looked like an accomplished fighter. He looked like he's got a good skill set. I see that he was literally winning the battle inside and outside, and you know,
and he's got a good chin as well, Tunde. Because O'Hara caught him with some bombs.
Okay. I mean, as I said, I hadn't watched the right fight, but I know O'Hara can crack, definitely. But this is another example that boxing ain't just about how hard you can punch. You know, boxing is it's a cerebral sport. It's who can think the best and who can think the quickest. You know, to execute because that was a perfectly timed counter right hook by Josh Taylor. You know, and bear in mind, I haven't even seen the fight. I just see them clips. But as a teacher, I can see these things from the off. But again, O'Hara's young, great puncher. You know, he just needs to. I think someone was telling me that there might have been something that he was sick or ill. I don't know. I don't know too much about that. But I think all wasn't well going into the fight, which makes sense. But you can't take that away from the fact that Josh Taylor put in a tremendous performance. You know, and a skilled performance, and he done well. And all credit to him. I think he's going to do well as a professional, just like O'Hara's going to do well. Because one thing I know about he don't give up. You know, the more about with O'Hara, the more people say negative stuff about him, the more he keeps working harder and harder. So I wish him all the best. I wish Josh Taylor all the best. And they're young. You know, they can keep on going.
Ian, do we need to give O'Hara Davies a bit of credit because he didn't duck the fight against potentially a dangerous opponent? He went out to Scotland in the backyard of Josh Taylor, mate.
Well, I was like, Tunde just took all my points away. Like, I literally,
on purpose,
when I heard it was up there, I just thought, no way. Because I'm thinking, why not give him a fight here? Like,
Bro, like, who's gonna go and watch you up in Scotland? Like, maybe your family might.
It's mad.
But, like, really, and if you're the draw, do you know what I mean?
That's right.
So, like, I believe, now, obviously, Taylor he's a great fighter. I kind of, like, knew I knew he was gonna get a belt. I knew that from before. About a year ago, an accumulator, because we're always talking bets in here at the shop. And I pointed out a few fighters, and I said he will definitely get a belt by next year. So, like, my guy that I helped him with that, he's already made some money on that. So, but I didn't think it would be against O'Hara. I never thought that O'Hara would. I never thought that they would actually take him up there and risk him up there.
Yeah.
To be honest, because I thought that they would be building him up for big things. This was maybe like a big test in some serious deep water, like Tunde just said. In Scotland, the people are crazy. They're gonna get behind their guy. They're gonna go against
O'Hara. I didn't say it was crazy. I don't want no Scottish fans coming up.
Come to work at the place. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, bro. Like, I've been up there myself. It's nuts. You know, it's nuts, and like, you know, come on, man. It's obviously gonna go for their guy. You know, like. You know, you've got to knock him out for them to even maybe like give you a bit of respect, and then they're still going to turn on you. Do you know what I mean? So I thought it was pretty nuts that, I don't know, I just thought they were building up O'Hara a different way. And yeah, I mean, it's I always thought that his jab was one of his main weapons. But again, like, you also pointed out that maybe...
It's funny, I spoke about the fight with Wayne Elcock. Wayne Elcock went up there unbeaten. He was the champion. And it's like, the reason why I said, when Old said that it's in Braehead Arena, I was like, oh my goodness. Because it was like deja vu. Wayne Elcock went up there the champion, he beat Anthony Farnell for the belt, and he fought a pure non-puncher. But the energy of this crowd rose this guy, and he knocked Wayne Elcock spark out.
That was never meant to happen.
It wasn't meant to happen. And you understand? And the same thing happened the other night.
It's the power of the quilt, mate.
No, it's true.
Ian, do you think the amateur background of Josh Taylor kind of saw him through?
Like you said, he's skill-wise, he's really sound, isn't he? Maybe the whole Southpaw thing worked in favour.
Yeah, some people are not good against Southpaws.
Yeah, some people just naturally, like, they just, you know, it just doesn't work in their favour, man. But I was upset more than anything, because again, being, you know, he's a Londoner, you know, you've seen like his young career come through. I've been following him from when he was with Tunde. Do you know what I mean? I've seen all the stories go through, and I've seen him kind of like make this jump, and you're thinking that right, he's there now, so they're gonna build him up, and then they're gonna get him. So I wasn't expecting him to be thrown out to the lions like that. That's the way I see it anyway, you know. I'm just a barber, man.
A very knowledgeable barber.
Like, right, but I'm sure OD's going to come back, and Josh Taylor, that was a great performance. We must commend you. We're going to move on, and we're going to talk about the Mayweather versus McGregor presser, which was kind of bonkers, mate. Pascal, it was very WWE-esque, wasn't it?
It certainly was, you know, in terms of entertainment, it was very entertaining. If you want my honest opinion, I think that McGregor got the better of Floyd. You know, the press conference, the crowd was very much for McGregor. Floyd is always very used to play the underdog in terms of, you know, the dislike of the crowd. He's never really been a crowd pleaser because of his demeanor and because of his abrasive nature when he was a pretty boy. But it appeared to me though that McGregor's insults and bravado, you know, caused Floyd to be slightly disturbed. You know, I tend to look at quite a lot of the, you know, the details, and there was a part where Floyd was allowing McGregor to speak, and Floyd seemed to be quite agitated. You know, he wanted his backpack to be brought up, you know, to show the money that he made against Manny Pacquiao. But you know, I don't believe that. I think that Floyd has met his match in the trash talker, in the shit talker. I think that McGregor is going to be out shit talking him, you know, for the rest of the press conferences, because he's just such a natural athlete. He honestly doesn't care about the outcome. He's gonna make so much money, and he's very happy to even be on stage, and he's just performing, you know.
Yeah, watching the presser, it seemed like it's more set for WrestleMania. It's more, do you know what I mean? It didn't feel like it was boxing. Do you know what I mean? It was a bit corny. I'll be honest with you.
Well, look, I was very entertained by it, because, you know, I looked at the press conference was very good, but the post-press conference was also even more entertaining, where Floyd Mayweather Sr. and McGregor were going, you know, at each other, you know. And I mean, look, it's let's be very honest, it's going to be a circus. It's going to be, you know, a bit of a car crash. But you know, what do we do when there's an accident? We all look, you know. There's this innate curiosity in human beings, so that they like to see freak shows. They like to see things out of the norm. And you know, a lot of people, even, I mean, what's beautiful about it is even non-boxing fans, non-UFC fans, people that do not even care about us fighting are paying any interest in it, because it's such a big attraction. And, you know, we got to commend both fighters for that. Floyd's perfect record, you know, has allowed for him to put himself in this position to be able to fight a UFC fighter. I don't believe that Floyd is putting the sport in boxing disrepute. I believe that he's transcending the sport. I really do believe that he's transcended the sport of boxing through sheer skill and determination. We now have a man that stands to become a billionaire from the sport. And as for Conor McGregor, to me, he's more of an opportunist, because he's a talented athlete, but he also understands that, you know, he's got a plan to be just as wealthy, and he's been fast-tracked into the multi-millionaire status by fighting a man like Floyd Mayweather. Does he deserve to fight Floyd? Absolutely not. But is it, but, you know, we live in a world where entertainment sometimes seems to be the route that people want to see. No, people are no longer motivated by competitiveness; they're more motivated by entertainment. So, you know, we're gonna see people that are at the fight that do not even understand boxing or UFC. You know, there'll be supermodels, there'll be strippers, there'll be all kinds of people there. You know, but he sells fights, he makes the money. So, you know, why not? I will be watching it. I won't be a hypocrite, but I will be watching the fight.
All right, Ian. Can the unthinkable happen? Can McGregor take beaten record of Mayweather? Can that happen?
I don't think so. Do you remember when he fought Zab Judah and the whole thing? You know, when the whole family just jumped into the ring and then they choked out Zab Judah for Floyd, and then Floyd went on to do him. I just got a feeling that something like that's going to happen. There's going to be a big kerfuffle. He won't be able to land anything, McGregor, on Floyd, and then
McGregor's the younger man by 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
And Floyd's been inactive for 2 years.
Yeah, but you know, it's about footwork, I believe. You know, definitely in boxing, the same footwork don't count in MMA, because you can swipe and you can kick a knee and all that. But footwork in boxing is what gives you those inches to make sure that you get missed. And if Pacquiao couldn't hit him throwing 18 shots with each flurry, he missed by millimeters. I don't think McGregor will. I can see just McGregor just getting frustrated, trying to choke him out or something. And like I said, everybody just jumping in there, and like you said, WWE all over. But like you said, like the Mayweather Pacquiao fight, I was there, thank God. But the atmosphere just wasn't there, because all the superstars and the rich and famous were the ones that could afford it to be there. And so when the fight started, the crowd just wasn't there. The boxing crowd just wasn't there. So it's a bit of a funny one. But as a fight fan, you know, they're making the most money that's ever going to go through a gate. That's going to be crazy. The fact that he's come back and look, ever since he retired, every sentence talked in boxing just goes back to Floyd Mayweather. So everyone was missing him anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Some people call it a circus. Some people call it, you know, a fight. All I'm saying is, I've got 4 tickets to the weigh-in on Friday. If you don't want to come,
bruv, I'm down. Tunde, you coming?
Oh, you know what, Spencer's trying to pull me along. because I don't know, maybe, I don't know, I can't even say it's getting old, because I've been like this since I've been a kid. I'm a very isolated person, and I like to just, you know, just be on my own and just collect my thoughts.
Just chill, yeah. You just want to work, basically. You've got things that you want to achieve.
I'm not stopping until I get everything. So I ain't got no time for no press conference. The press conference I'm going to be at is me and Anthony Yard.
Yeah. Potentially down the line against Joshua Buatsi. 2 years time, maybe.
To be honest with you, Spencer was telling me about Joshua. I've met the kid. I've met Joshua on a few occasions. I remember he was at the press conference to announce the BT partnership with Frank Warren. And I've always seen that he's a very respectful young man, and you know, I've never heard nothing in terms of him actually fighting. I remember everyone was telling me about this Joshua Buatsi guy. And I don't know. The fight I watched him, he lost. That was in the Olympics. So, you know, I saw him got out, but too much about him. But from what I'm hearing from everyone, he's a very good fighter. And in terms of, a few people have asked me about Anthony and Joshua Buatsi, or Anthony. And I just told them the same thing. No one can beat Anthony Yard. Period. It's as simple as that. No one ain't beating Anthony Yard, and that's what I know. So I don't know how good he is. I mean, if it ever came to a situation where we would end up fighting, then I will study him. I'll look at the tapes, because you know it's my job and it's my duty to look at each opponent. But from a personal perspective or aspect, he's a very nice, young, respectful man, and that's what I love. Because all this
very humble.
Yeah, very humble, just like Anthony. So all this trash talking business, I'm I'm old school. I'm not really on that. So
you probably like the Anthony Joshua and Klitschko build up, the bromance.
I didn't even see that.
Okay, you're working, yeah?
I was working. People think I'm joking. I'm not joking. I just watch Anthony Yard. That's the honest truth. It's not disrespect. I'm not being, arrogant or cocky and people around me will bear me witness. I only watch Anthony Yard. And the only way I'm gonna watch you is if you're in the opposite corner. That's the only way. So these young boys, it's good for boxing. I was saying to Spencer, because Spencer phones me every day, and I was saying Spencer, it really feels good. It feels good at the moment, for British boxing. Not young boys, coming into the game and making it exciting, in all parts of the country. So that's great for our sport. But other than that, I'm in the Anthony Yard business. I don't know that.
Well, we're back to Mayweather McGregor. McGregor says 4 rounds. I mean, has he been smoking?
Well, listen, he knows. I don't know. One thing I will say is that it's a very interesting contest because me analysing the match, I see that you have 2 combatants, who are fueled with incredible self-belief, both of them, and I mean, if you look at the numbers, I think Floyd's got something like 15.8 million followers on Instagram, and Connor's got something like 14.5, which means they got a lot of support on both sides. So that coupled with their self-belief, you have to give everyone a chance. I personally don't believe that. I heard what's my boy Pascal. I heard him say that he feels that Conor won the initial press conference.
Yes, I felt that.
That was his first point, yeah.
I felt that the banter was leaning towards McGregor, by saying before the suits, things like that, Which...
Yes, but maybe I think I don't know, maybe he was watching different broadcasts, because the way that I see Conor McGregor just close his mouth when Floyd was talking showed me that he felt something that he's never felt before. And that usually is the problem with a lot of people when they face Floyd Mayweather. The magnitude of the event, the energy which he brings to the occasion really drowns you out. It's the same reason why Shea Mosley could have a war for 12 rounds with what's this Mexican boy's name? No, that wasn't a war. That was a boxing thing.
Margarito?
No. The one who had the plaster cast in his hand.
Yeah, Margarito.
Yeah, Margarito. Yeah.
Shea Mosley had a 12-round war with Margarito, and then when he fought Floyd, he got tired after 2 rounds. After he wobbled Floyd, he got tired after 2 rounds. So I can only put that down to the magnitude of the event. And so that's what it is. When people get in the ring with Floyd, the magnitude, it's like, look, all of this press conference is all good. It's the same thing what made everyone think Audley Harrison had a chance against David Hay. So Audley Harrison could sell sand to an Arab. So when all's said and done, the contest is going to take place in a squared circle under the Queensberry rules, and that's Floyd's terrain. You know, Conor McGregor even said, you know, Floyd hasn't got the guts to come into my world, so I'm stepping into his world. I just feel that, as you said, Frankie, it does feel very WWE. A lot of people.
It was a little corny. It was.
A lot of people I think people are getting a bit excited, saying that Floyd was, you know, swearing and he was out of character. Listen, it's obvious Floyd knows what he's doing, because nobody's ever generated the kind of money that that's been generated. So this guy, I just feel that people don't give Floyd the credit he deserves, because he's a smart guy. He's a smart guy, and he knows what sells. He knows what the people want, and he said it years ago. He chose to play the bad guy, you know. So, so the guy knows what he's doing. So it's all exciting. It's all because, as I say, I don't even watch no one, but I tuned in to see that. Actually, it was you who sent me the link, Frankie, because I wasn't going to watch it. He sent me the link, and that made me watch the press conference. And then I said, yeah, Floyd, he's doing his thing again. You know, as I say, when it all goes down to it, it's a boxing contest, and how are you going to beat somebody that made Canelo Alvarez look like
standard
a boxer at the Peacock Amateur Club? You understand? And Canelo, to me, is the most technically gifted fighter today. So we're not talking about, you know, a crap boxer. Canelo Alvarez is the man behind Anthony Yarde, that is. But so it's a tough ask for Conor. But as I say, because of the self-belief, because of the confidence, because of the support, because of the Irish that are going to be at the T-Mobile Arena, that it's going to give him a lot of you know, hope. But I would say that's all it is hope, because unless Floyd was out the night before drinking Supermalt and having Nigerian Agusi, don't win that contest. No way.
No contest. Well, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of banter, but until then, we'll just keep watching. The world is watching. Very exciting for boxing, and it's an event. It's a pay-per-view event. And maybe we'll see Tyson Fury versus The Big Show. That'll be the next one.
Maybe.
Now it's interview time. Ahead of the Chris Eubank Jr. versus Arthur Abraham fight this weekend, our boxing correspondent Shaz caught up with some of the fighters that will feature on the bill this weekend. Firstly, let's hear from the IBF World Featherweight Champion Lee Selby, who will fight Victor Barris despite the recent passing of his mother this week. All of us at Pep Talk UK offer our condolences. Let's hear from the champ, Lee Selby.
Pep Talk UK are joined by a man who deserves his crown as world champion. Even though I'm Leeds, I'm going to say, Mr. Lee Selby, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you.
You're fighting a tough cookie. How's camp been? How are we looking forward to Saturday night?
Training's gone well, as always. I don't really have like training camps. I'm just constantly in the gym, and as soon as I get a fight there, I sort of like just pick it up a bit and add more sparring in. So like I'm always ready and willing to fight.
In terms of a background, he on the back of the presser, he don't look like he's come to muck about. It looks like he's going to have a fight.
Oh yeah, it's a proper fight.
He looks in reasonable shape. He's got the experience behind him.
Yeah.
Have you prepared for him any differently from any other fighter?
Same as any other fight. I just get myself right. What he brings, and I adapt on the night.
He's got good pedigree behind him.
Yeah.
But he's obviously not met the Welshman before. So what can we expect come fight night?
The same as usual. If he wants to come forward with the pressure, you'll see me boxing on the back foot. If he wants to try and outbox me on the back foot, I'll dictate the pace and take it to him.
In terms of fans, a lot of people coming up to watch this.
We got a couple of coaches coming, a couple of taffies from Wales, come up to support me.
And they're going to be bringing the noise.
Of course.
Well, we wish you the best of luck come Saturday night. Go get that win, brother.
Thank you very much.
Nice one, buddy.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All the best to Team Selby. Now we hear from Kid Galahad, who will fight for the vacant IBF Intercontinental Featherweight title against Jose Cayetano.
Pep Talk UK are joined by a friend of the show, someone I've got a lot of time for, a chap from Sheffield. It's Mr. Kid Galahad. How you doing, Kid?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm always well.
You're looking well.
Am I looking well?
Yeah, you look like you've lost a bit of weight.
Kid, this is being recorded. Thousands of people are going to listen to it on and they're going to be talking. We're supposed to be talking about you and how good you look.
I'm good, thank you. I'm always ready and I'm looking good.
Big fight Saturday night.
Yeah.
Title on the line.
Yeah.
How are we looking? How's training been? How's camp been?
We don't do training camps, you know. We're training all year round. I'm in fantastic shape. I'm ready. Just can't wait for Saturday night now. Just wanted to hurry up and come. I'm in the zone. I'm focused, and I want to do a job on this kid.
You've been a bit unfortunate with pullouts last time, and we had that whole debacle with Jonathan Agbeko, was it? Joseph Agbeko?
Yeah.
You're back under the big lights.
Yeah.
What can we expect on the night?
On Saturday night, I'm going to show Joseph why all these opponents keep on pulling out and making these excuses why they don't want to fight me. And on Saturday night, he's going to know real quick why. And I'm just looking forward, you know, to get one of them bright lights and put on a show for the fans.
Lovely, Kid. We wish you the best of luck on Saturday. Hope you have a good one, brother.
Thank you.
Nice one, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kid Galahad. Right now it's time to hear from an exciting welterweight who will also feature in the bill. It's Chris Too Slick Kongo.
Pep Talk UK are joined by a friend of the show, someone that I've interviewed a few times now, Mr. 4-0, gonna make it 5-0. It's Mr. Chris Too Slick Kongo. How you doing, Chris?
All good, man. All good. How are you?
I'm good. You're back out Saturday night fighting an Argentinian, I hear.
Yeah, an Argentinian fighter. Ain't really seen much of him, but yeah, looking forward to it, man. I've been training hard. I've been training to get the W, and I will get the W Saturday night.
Chris, last time you were out on an ITV show, I blinked and I missed it. I had to then watch what you done on the TV screen. What was that all about?
Listen, I wasn't expecting that myself, but it happened, you know. So I just literally worked him out, and when I hit him to the body, he just folded, and I thought, I can't let him go now. Just stuck it on him and got him out of there.
Now, when you say you worked him out, how many seconds was it took you to work this man out?
About a minute.
You've done well. You've done well.
Yeah,
now,
thank you.
How's training been for this?
Training's been great. It's been a very long camp because we've been waiting for the date. So we didn't know if it was June or July. So we've been training for a while. I've been on weight for about 3-4 weeks now, and this is it's been a great camp. Apart from that, man, sparred with the likes of Chris Eubank Jr. I went out to Poland. I didn't get any sparring there, but I just wanted to go there and see the different sort of camps, how different camps are set out. And Isaac Chamberlain and Richard Riakpo, my stable mates, they were sparring Masternak, the Polish fighter. He's boxed Tony Bellew before. So I wanted to just go out there also and just see how his camp is like and what I could add to it.
It's a learning curve, and you get sometimes just watching you can learn stuff.
100%.
I watch you and I learn what boxers do, and I realise I'm not on that level. I may when I get older.
Yeah.
You mentioned you sparred Chris Eubank Jr. Obviously, Chris is further down. He's an IBO title holder.
Yeah.
How was that as an experience for you?
It was a great experience. My main aim, like I always say in sparring, I spar to learn. I spar to add the things that I've been working on the bags and with my coach. That's the main aim of sparring. I don't go to spar and try and knock him out or try to get the better of him. The aim for me when I spar is to learn, simply to learn. When I go in the ring, I'm in the ring to fight. That's a fight, and everything I've learned, I put it into the ring.
Well, Chris, as always, I want you to give a shout out to your social media handles so people get following, because you're going all the way to the top.
Of course. Everyone can follow me at 2SlickChris, the number 2 Slick Chris on Instagram, and I'm on Twitter and Facebook. You can add me on Chris Kongo.
One last thing, is there going to be an army there Saturday night?
There will be an army. You'll see an army, definitely.
The 2 Slick Army.
Definitely. Big shout out to my sponsors as well that helped me out through my career, Bagel King and Arrowstone Development.
Lovely, nice one, Chris. Good luck Saturday night, bud.
Thank you.
Cheers, buddy.
Thank you, Mr. 2 Slick. Finally, we talked to the super lightweight boxer, Robbie Davies Jr.
Pep Talk UK are joined by Mr. Robbie Davies Jr. How you doing, Robbie? You alright?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. You okay?
You've got an unbeaten record.
Yep.
You're back out at Wembley, defending your title. How's training been? How ready for this are you?
Been waiting a long time for these opportunities, so I've been training very hard. Preparation's been unbelievable for this camp. We've left no stone unturned, and literally now it's just the final bits of preparation. Wait until the weigh-in, press conference, all new things to me, like what I haven't done before, like yesterday with the open workout and things. It's all new to me, but the buzz around me and the whole show, it's been immense.
You got a good reception at the workout. Got a bit of a cheer when you were about.
Yeah.
You were like walking around, and the thing I like about you, Robbie, is you go around, you shake hands, you take pictures with fans.
Yeah.
You seem to give back, which is very good about you.
Yeah, obviously, I'm still a fan of boxing myself. Obviously, I'm sometimes at shows and I'm doing exactly what they're doing to fighters that are higher up levels than me, and I want to get photos with them. So I understand when they see me in the ring and things like that, or young kids, and they want a photo and things like that. So it's only right that I give it back, because obviously that's what I expect for other boxers levels above me to do with me.
Your opponent, what do you know about him?
No, he's a very good opponent, very strong looking, physically in great condition. He has a good amateur background, pedigree, but he might have been the number 1 in Poland, but if he was from Britain, would he have been the number 1 from here? You don't know, because of basically our standard is a lot higher than theirs in the amateur game. Coming over here now, he's only had 1 defeat on his record. The 1 defeat, he avenged that a couple of months later. So apart from that odd blemish on his record, he's unbeaten himself. But 2 of us together, it's going to make for a great fight, I think. It's a real step up in class for both of us.
Well, we know who we're going to be cheering on. We're going to be shouting your name out from the rafters.
Yeah.
It's a nice arena to be fine in, Wembley Arena. We wish you the best of luck Saturday night. Go get that win.
Alright, thank you very much.
Cheers, Robbie. Thank you.
All the best of luck to Robbie Davies. Cracking interviews, shares. So now it's football time. We're going to talk about the transfers that's happening in the Premiership. And as of last week, Manchester United have splashed the cash, confirming the capture of Stormzy for 75 million.
That's too funny. I like that.
Wait.
Mate, all I can say is mention my name in your paper. Yo, rude boy, shut up. Pascal, on a serious note, what do you make of it? Like 75 million for Lukaku is a lot of money.
Oh, really, Lukaku.
But Man United splash the cash. That's what they do.
I mean, look, Frankie B, if you remember, what did Luis Suarez go to Barcelona for?
That was 70 million, I think it was.
70 million, okay. So, if we compare both strikers, is Lukaku better than Luis Suarez? Absolutely no. Is Lukaku worth 75 million? Absolutely no.
And with add-ons, it'll be more than that with add-ons.
Perhaps maybe even 80 million. I believe that Manchester United are getting absolutely shaken down by the other clubs. But because it's Manchester United, because they go for a player, you know, there's already a 20-30% inflation on the price because of who they are. We've been saying that. We've got to give credit to Lukaku because Lukaku has been quite consistent in his goal scoring. But for me, Lukaku is a type of player that if you put him in a team where there's not too much expectations, where he's a bit more relaxed, he can perform. At Manchester United, it's going to be a very different setup for Lukaku because he's going to be expected to score every game. Every game. No, is Lukaku more clinical than Van Persie was? Is he more clinical than what Henry was? I mean, to me, it's a bit... I'm comparing Lukaku, you know, for players of yesteryear because you have to, in that position that he's displaying, you've got to compare him against the greats of the past and the greats of the present. You know, I mean, you've got people like Neymar who are worth the same kind of money, who are consistent. You've got, the likes of Ronaldo who went to Real Madrid for 100 million. I mean, these are not too far away figures. You know, 75 million, 100 million is not too far away. It's still very much into the late 70s. So it's a lot of money for Lukaku, but he's still very young. He's used to the Premiership. He's worked under Mourinho before. Mourinho knows what he can get out of Lukaku, but for me, it's just an overinflated transfer market, you know, and how much money, you know, our British clubs going to be spending on strikers and on talent. You know, it's just, to me, it's proving to be too much. But I wish Lukaku all the best in his new career, you know, and I hope that he can live up to, to the expectancy of Jose Mourinho. And Mourinho must know that with Lukaku, you're not buying talent, you know, you should be buying the finished article, you know. So
it's a bit surprising that Mourinho's gone back for him because he got rid of him in the first place. From Chelsea.
He certainly did, but he probably saw. But you know, we know that Mourinho likes the big centre forward. You know, a strong centre forward with the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic leaving the club. You know, he needed a replacement. A sudden replacement, somebody that could fit in straight away, somebody that knows the league very well. So, you know, you could argue that Lukaku is certainly one that can fit that mode. You know, that can come in as a centre forward, as a big player that can terrorize defenses. And if he's been able to be quite prolific for Everton, there's no reason why he cannot do it for Manchester United. So it's exciting for them, but it's also very much overinflated transfer market.
Ian, in terms of Lukaku, is he really Man United quality? I know he was second top goal scorer last season. However, some say he goes missing in big games.
Well, missing in big games, even Ronaldo goes missing in big games. I truly believe that they should have saved that money and just put it towards trying to buy Ronaldo.
But even at Aubameyang would have been steady. Yeah.
Like you've got players, like these players have just done well for the last couple of seasons, and like, yeah, they've come to big clubs, but like you said, why did he get rid of him at Chelsea? You know, there's a reason why. So, like, how come all of a sudden, alright, he had a good season, but so did a lot of players that went away somewhere, you know, like, off the top of my head, I mean, there's loads of players that have gone away on loan, done really well, gone away, and they don't go get signed to United for that kind of big money. You know, if you want to compare him to anyone, like Drogba, but Drogba's name doesn't even come up, and like compare him to legends, I'm not sure about that. You know what I mean? He's had a decent couple. You know, he has scored goals. All right, cool. But if you've got a whole team playing for you, and everyone else is only half decent on the pitch, and they're trying to put chances for you, how are you not going to score goals? You know, that's the way I see it. So I don't know, man. I mean, definitely not worth the money. But United are kind of like they do that all the time. So does Chelsea. You know, they buy like these players and like they pin their hopes on them, and that. And next thing you know, they don't hardly touch the pitch.
Yeah. So you guys are trying to shot Diego Costa now. You know, Conte wants to get rid.
How long have we been talking that he's going? That's been on the cards for ages now. Like, he's not happy. He don't speak a word of English. He's troubled. The rest don't like him. The league don't like him. You know.
We Arsenal fans, we don't like him either.
No one likes him. No one likes him. We like him because he scores goals where he pulls them out of, like, I don't know where he pulls them out. That's what I mean. You pay big money like that for someone like Costa, where he, even if he's having a bad game, for 10 seconds of that game, he'll turn around, stand on the ball, turn on a penny, shoot it top corner.
Top corner, yeah.
Yeah, that's worth the money, innit? And not even he's worth the money that Lukaku's going for. Do you know what I mean?
So, in terms of Man United, do you think they need to get some more players in? Another striker, maybe a winger. Do you feel they're going to spend bigger as the transfer window goes on?
So listen, since the old man left United, it's never been the same. No matter how much money goes through there.
They just spend, they just spend.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you spend. Like, it's something in the personnel. You know what I mean? From when the geezer like Rooney couldn't touch the pitch as much, alright, there's something up. But when had they had players like Blind? There's a long time since you've got like real like names that you see on Match of the Day all the time. You know, like the Nevilles, the Scholes, and that where they were just, you know, there were names in English football.
True Manchester lads.
True Manchester lads, but just true Manchester players. No matter where they're from, but you know that, like, when you say that name, you know that goes with that big strong squad.
It's affiliated to,
it's affiliated to greatness. You don't talk like that about him no more.
Because you guys just lost John Terry. You know, he's gone, and you've got no other youth player that can step in.
No one's
lost his cheek as well, just gone to Crystal Palace on loan. So really, it's just about, you know, buying now. There's no like affinity with the club.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that at Chelsea there's going to be a lot of spending, hell of a lot of spending, and hopefully with winning it, and I think a lot of with Conte, with seeing how he done at the Euros, and then stepped into Chelsea, I think there'll be a lot of big, great players out there that will say, "I'll go there."
What about the centre back that you just signed, Rudiger from Roma, 35 million?
Well, the good thing is with the Italian league, you know, it's about all defending well and together. So hopefully he does come from, you know, from that background of defending well and defending together. But the Italian league is a lot slower, and you don't know where you're at until you get to the Premiership. You know, I cut a lot of Premiership footballers, and one of the first things that they tell me is, bloody hell, it's tough here. You know, like, I've just come from Italy, where I get to touch the ball, and, you know, a little step over here and there, a little shake there and that. But
100
now,
miles per hour, yeah.
Yeah, but now, these boys are big out here. That's what they say to me. These boys know how to tackle out here. They don't take no mess. They just go straight into like hard tackles. Everything's really 100 mile an hour, and so there you go. It depends on how you react once you get here. On a rainy Saturday afternoon in Stoke.
But why are you guys getting rid of Zuma? I think you're going to loan him out to West Brom.
Again, I think he's good, you know.
Yeah, he was a quality player, good young player. But for some reason, Conte doesn't fancy him.
Yeah, again, there you go. It's always about if the manager likes you. And you know, and if the manager don't like what you're doing or the way you do your stuff, then, you know.
Arrivederci.
Yeah, ciao, bro. I'm like, no, that, bro, ciao, I've got an Italian boy coming in, innit?
It's like that. Pascal, we got to talk about Wayne Rooney returning back to Everton, mate. Rooney.
The prodigal son has returned. Yeah, I mean, he called it a dream move. I mean, really, Rooney, were you kidding? You know, why are you lying to the fans? There was never a dream move. I think for him, it certainly is a good move in terms of what the other options they were for him. You know, a few other clubs were interested in him, but I think he's certainly has done the right decision to go back to his to where it all started for him. And Everton are also in a bit of a revolution where they have a lot more investment now behind them. So he'll be played with some good players, and hopefully, you know, Ronald Koeman can maybe use Rooney in a much more, in a better capacity than Jose Mourinho was able to do, you know. And I fancy Rooney to score at least 10 goals this season with Everton, particularly if he plays in the middle of the pitch, you know, in that position behind the strikers. He has a lot to offer still, a lot of experience. He's played at the highest level, and a lot of the players around him will respect him. I hope that the crowd also receive him with thanks and get behind him. But look, there was options for him to go to the MLS, options for him to go to China, but he decided to remain in England.
Premiership, yeah.
You know, does he have an eye on the World Cup? Perhaps he's looking at maybe participating in his last World Cup before hanging his boots of an international career. So that was the best opportunity for Rooney, is to get regular football at a decent club, challenge with Everton to maybe get into that top 4. You know, they'll be in the UEFA Cup.
Everton mean business though. They are spending like mad, man.
They are spending a lot of money, but you know, I'm not sure whether they're spending the right kind of money on the right kind of players, because a lot of they're still not as good as Liverpool are, you know, with all the acquisitions they've made. But with the Lukaku money, they'll buy some good players, and I expect Ronald Koeman to build a team. You know, for Koeman, it's about cementing, you know, a team that he can grow. It's about making sure that, you know, Everton are used to this European football, because I expect Everton to be to remain 5th or 6th for the foreseeable future, you know, and eventually to break into that top 4. That is the ambition of the investors, and I'm sure that within the next 3 seasons, Koeman can build something quite exciting. You know, if it's happened as Leicester by winning the league, there's no reason why Everton cannot break into that top 4. And I think that Everton could take advantage of Tottenham not being able to play at this natural stadium. You know, we all know that
the curse of Wembley.
Curse of Wembley is a very real curse. You know, it's very difficult to play in a national stadium as your home ground week in, week out. And I think that Tottenham will struggle for the next foreseeable future in those conditions. So I fancy a team like Everton to maybe use that opportunity to peep them to the 4th place. So we could have Everton break into the 4th place, you know, over the next 2 seasons. It's very possible.
Speaking of Tottenham have been very quiet. Literally, I haven't heard any news about Spurs at all.
Well, I've not heard any news at all, you know, other than the Kyle Walker was supposed to go to Manchester City.
Yeah, Man City. And Dyer to Man United, they're saying. 50 million.
Yes, of course. Yeah, none of this has happened yet. So we are waiting for some news to happen, but I think Pochettino he wants to remain in charge first and foremost. There were rumors that he was a bit frustrated at the lack of investment in the team, but you know, we all know that, you know, moving to a new stadium is the biggest acquisition and the biggest spend that a club can make. So Pochettino, we'll have to see whether Pochettino is as good as he is, because, you know, I remember when Wenger, you know, moved from Highbury to the Emirates, you know, it proves very difficult to not spend any money and to remain competitive. You know, a lot of players in the Spurs team are very good players, you know, the likes of Dele Alli, the likes of Harry Kane. And if, you know, the likes of Lukaku can go for 75 million, you already have 200 million in that team. You know, so does Daniel Levy want to sell those players for 200 million, raise the money to quickly pay off the stadium debt so that more players can be acquired? Or do you keep the players that you have now and hope that you can have this transition of, you know, playing in a neutral ground and win and get some momentum and remain in Europe for 2-3 seasons and then go into your new stadium? That will be the biggest challenge for Tottenham as a football club. the players also will have to remain patient with Pochettino and the club so that they can aspire to bring in silverware. But it's going to be a very difficult transition period for Tottenham, where the players are very much into the peak of their careers. There's a World Cup taking place next year. There's opportunities for some of the players to go into better teams, more stable teams that can provide them with the silverware. So I think Tottenham are very much in trouble this season. They don't believe that it's going to be the same outcome as last season. They will struggle.
Well, we will talk more transfers next week. But that's our time. I'd like to thank Ian. I'd like to thank Pascal and Tunde Ajayi. Join us again next week for another Pep Talk UK podcast.